Hi, this is Dave Griffith with Corso Systems, and welcome to Process Intelligence Tools, our third video in the Intelligent Automation series. Our first video on the automation pyramid is linked below if you'd like to start with that. A little bit of an overview. Today we will talk about information systems, which is our third layer on the automation pyramid. We'll talk about tracking process data, which is that process historian you've been hearing about. At this point, we still have data and we need to create the information, and then we'll give you a real example of how we've put this together, and I'm not going to tell you about that until we've gotten there. A little bit about Corso. We are a systems integration firm with true coast-to-coast coverage. We focus on manufacturing execution systems, information systems, business system integration, and other high-level system integration work. We are a true top floor to shop floor solutions provider, meaning we do your high-level integration and we'll also work on your HMI or SCADA as well as all of your PLC needs. Just a little bit of a reminder, this is our automation pyramid with all 5 of our layers, and we've made it to the third layer, our information systems. Now, the information systems that we've been talking about are built on the foundation of the process control systems by providing the data and tools to better understand the health of a process over its lifetime. It starts with collecting and storing real-time data to be analyzed with trending tools, reports, and dashboards, and this is the first step in creating a fully connected enterprise. Now, tracking your process conditions. Commonly, the first step in implementing the information systems start with that process historian, and on a high level, a historian collects the data from process controllers, storing it in a database for future retrieval. Commonly, this is packaged with trending tools, and these are used to monitor real-time and historical process conditions, thus allowing engineers and maintenance staff to track down the causes of upsets after they've occurred, and more importantly, this helps them identify the problems before they occur. Some historian considerations, and just to stay on a high level, the main considerations are the actual data points that you want to store, as well as how often they're stored in the database. Now, most process historian pricing is based on the data points stored, and as a side note, inductive automation is doing some very interesting things with pricing structures. Feel free to reach out for some more information. Now, additionally, computer hardware costs dictates how much data can be stored. Those are your hard drives. Our first video on the Process Historian series, which goes into much further detail, is going to be linked below, as well as will be on the end screen. Talking about creating some information, we've got the data and we need to turn it into useful information. Historians are great at automatically collecting the data from a process and making it available for future use, but they are limited when working with data generated outside of the control system, such as quality-controlled test data. We can connect the historian with other databases and systems to correlate the process conditions with manual collected data. Combining multiple data sources provides additional context and making it possible to easily understand the complex interactions between process conditions and the product quality, for example. Now, this can be accomplished by something such as a lab information management system, and this is usually through a web-based interface. Putting it all together, an example of integrating production data with other data sources is in use at Jackson Energy, a hydro treating facility. Here we use tank volume data from the raw material and finished product tanks to populate fields in a web-based shipping and receiving ticketing system. Now, this eliminates a source of operator error by auto-populating the forms with starting and ending tank volumes from the historian when pumping the material into or out of the facility. Using this data, shipping and receiving manifests can be generated at any time of the day without the need for operators to manually collect and record tank levels during their shift. Now, in addition, quality control data and scanned documents are stored with each of the shipping and receiving manifests, thus enabling operations staff to track the source and quality of all material going into or out of the facility without having to manually correlate the data. Information systems alone can provide useful insight into the health of a process. Data collected by the historian can be used by operators, maintenance staff, and engineering staff to make better decisions. Again, I'm Dave Griffith with Corso, and I'd like to thank you for watching this video. A link to the corresponding post is below, as well as our first video on our Process Historian series, as well as our case study on Jackson Energy. On the screen, you'll find my contact information if you want to reach out. There is also a link to the next video on data analysis tools.